Today we're sharing a magic spell. This magic spell is about a financial steady flow of abundance. So we're going to begin by consecrating and cleansing our tools. If you notice, Ruta is taking the smoke and cleaning the inside and the outside all around. We try to move in a clockwise motion. The clockwise motion brings energy to us. So we're cleansing the tools with the smoke. I would like you to now concentrate on this container, and the container is going to hold the energy of you. This is likened to your aura, and this is going to be holding the things that we put in it, is going to hold the spell or the energy that we wish to use. We're giving this a job. This is our container. Now, I'm going to be using rice paper. These actually are bought at, you can buy them at the Body Shop. They're actually blotters for makeup. But they're great because rice is really great for bringing in financial abundance. So there's, on one side it's waxy a little bit, and the other side not so much, has a little bit of a powder on it. So these are really great to write on, so for spell work, so I like to use them. And we're going to write our intention. I also like to use colored pencils or markers, so there's different ones you can choose from. Because we're working with money, I'm going to choose green at this time. And when we write on this our intention, we're going to focus about how much money that we could feasibly bring in 1 month. And we would like you to think about a realistic goal here, because this container is going to hold that. So whatever energy you think you can hold within that month, you're going to place onto this paper, and really hold the intention strong as you write this down, that this is what you are asking the universe for, and that you're tapping into this, and this is something that you are going to be creating a steady flow of. So just, write down what you feel that amount is in a very clear, precise way. So for instance, I bring in, $5,000 a month on a steady basis, doing blah, blank, 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 whatever work you would like to do to bring that in. So then we're going to mix some oil that we're going to be using for more than just this next piece. You're going to get a little container, maybe about this big. It doesn't have to be this shape. It can be any shape. It can be like this shape as well. Anything. And we're just going to use this one right now because it's flat and you can see what we're doing. So we're going to make a mixture for money. This money oil mixture is taken out of a Scott Cunningham book, and this is a very ancient recipe. The first oil we're going to be using is patchouli. The next oil I'm going to be using is cedar. It's really good for, you know, bringing in money, but it's also good for cleansing and keeping away things that may block us from bringing in the finances that we want to bring in. This is vetiver, and I find that this is very good for bringing in money as well, and grounding it and having it stay with you. So, you know, like, you can make money, but it's, well, whether you kind of keep some of it or not, that's the important part. So we would like to have this stick with us a little bit as well, not just come in one way and then right out the other. So this mixture of oil here is to bring in money fairly quickly, actually. And I'm going to mix a little bit of olive oil with this, because olive oil is the oil that brings the energy from the ether. It works in the ethers. It brings the energy from the astral world into our world. So it makes this like the glue that makes it stick together. So we're going to just mix this up a little. I just kind of mix it by hand and bring it in. And I'm just going to right now consecrate this oil to work for us. So we're going to say a little prayer over it to give it some direction as well of what we want it to do. So now we're going to anoint our paper with the oil, and we're going to anoint the four corners. So we're just going to dip the corner, and we're going to give it also direction as we put it on the four corners. We're going to give it a direction of what we would like to bring in to our household. We're going to bring in the four directions. And then in the center as well. So this is our petition, and we're going to put our name over top. We're going to sign our name over top of this. This is letting the universe know that it is going to flow to us. Then you're going to take your paper, and because you want the energy to come towards you of this financial flow, you're going to fold it towards you once, and then you're going to turn it clockwise, then you're going to fold it to you again, then you're going to turn it clockwise, and fold it one more time. As much as it's, like, you know, not too cramped, because you want energy to move. This flow of energy is what you know, you want to be able to have a little bit of movement, right? So then you're going to put this on, you're just going to put this on the paper. You could you can always use a plate. If you really don't want people to see what this is, you can use something like a plate. Put this down. I want to use pennies here. This penny, you just want to consecrate it as well and give it a direction. This is for protection. This is really good for bringing in luck, for protection. I mean, the old saying is find a penny and all the day you'll have good luck. So you're going to put that down to bring in the energy that you want for luck and for protection of your spell. And then you can, Ruda's just going to do it without the plate, so she's going to have it there, just on there, and I'm going to use the plate there. And so we're just going to place that on top like that, and she's going to place hers on top of that. So the next thing we're going to do is work with a little bit of crystal magic, stones. So I've picked out some stones that are appealing to me, and you can look up the meaning of stones in the Crystal Bible or on the internet, pretty much anywhere nowadays. You can look up that information. So we're going to make sure that we're giving everything that we're working with a direction, and we're giving it a purpose. So if you know what your stones are doing, even if you don't know what your stones are doing, you're going to give a direction. The first thing you're going to do is cleanse them. Make sure that they're not going to be soluble in water, because there are a lot of minerals and stones that are, or they'll rust in water. So you don't want to put those ones. You don't want to use ones that will be, you know, tainting the water too much. The other really good thing you can use is if you go on Amazon, they have these little powdered crystals that just like this, and you can sprinkle them like sand, making even sand art within this. So that's another way of doing it. I like, you know, using big stones. I like using those little ones sometimes, but I feel like right now this is what I wanted to use was crystals, and it's what I had at hand. Like I said, these are things you want to be able to have at hand or be able to order quickly online. So we're going to give each stone a direction, and we're going to place it into your bowl at this time. So this is a Herkimer diamond, and I'm going to use it to bring in a spiritual element into my steady flow of income, because I like to use the energy of light to be able to bring that in. So that's what I'm using, and I'm going to give it some direction, and I'm going to place it into my bowl. The next thing I'm going to be using is a fire garnet, and this garnet is really great for bringing in money, but I also feel like the fire garnet has an amazing quality to sort of give you that little bit of passion. No, I don't want like an over amount of it. I just want a steady amount where I have enough energy to do what I need to do during the day and complete what I want and have really creative, good ideas and bring that in and be able to make the money that I love, doing what I love, and being able to share that with other people. So that's what I'm going to be placing into this. The next stone I'm going to be using is turquoise, and this helps with communication. In my line of work, communication is important, and I also like it to be on a spiritual level as well, and this helps with that. Citrine is another one I want to use, and this is bringing in element of financial abundance. This one is called a witch's finger, and it adds a little bit of power to anything that is applied with. So I'm going to give this a little bit of direction as well. Bloodstone is associated with the energy of the vampire, And the vampire are very wealthy, so this is something that they can loan us with the psychic abilities, and they can bring us in energy to help us work with finances as well. They're extremely smart with the energy they pull in when it comes to money. And if you think about it, in the fairy tales, they tell you that most vampires It's okay, come on in, we'll stop. That's okay. Sorry.
That's okay, I'm sorry.
So the energy with the bloodstone also is very ancient energy, so this will help maybe us build something now to bring into the future for children or grandchildren or future generations even. So I really like using bloodstone for that particular reason. And this one is to settle the monkey mind. To be able to focus, you have to have a clear mind. So this will help us keep clear, focused on what we need to do or want to do to bring in this amount of money. I have a couple of stones that are protective. One is malachite and one is a cross stone. So I'm going to be using these energies. They have different qualities and different energies, so I'm going to bring in this in for protection of what we do manifest. And to keep us pure and focused in light. Clear quartz crystal, I'm going to use it to magnify all the energies within our aura. And we were going to place this in, and so that's another stone that I'm going to use. We're going to bring this in, and this will magnify into our aura as well. And this is jasper, and I'm going to put this in to ground the energy, because we want to manifest this from the astral into the real world. So this is what's going to help ground this in as well. So those are the crystals that I'm using. You can use any crystals you like that you feel are going to benefit you or that will look nice in your thing. The next thing I want to do is add a little bit of salt. The salt is going to protect in. It will, when the water is added, it'll probably just float down to the bottom of the cup. It will ground the energy in as well. It's very protective. So we're going to be working with some herbs now, some dry herbs, and there's a couple specifically that I want to work with. They're going to help ground in the energy of what we want. So I picked a few here that you guys can choose from, whatever you like, whatever you feel called to work with. One is patchouli. It's going to bring in financial abundance. And it's really just basically working with the energy of money. It's a very earthy smell. I love patchouli. It's so beautiful. Patchouli is a little bit more challenging to get, but you can order it online on Amazon. So we're going to work with our mortar and pestle, and we're going to sort of open up the energy by concentrating on what it is that we want this herb to do. We're going to give it a direction, just like we did the stones. We're going to concentrate, and we're going to bring this in and help us ground the energy in of what we want. So think about what you want as you're turning clockwise your mortar and pestle. remember, the energy and the focus that you put in is what you will get returned. So we're going to place this, when we're ready, into our container. Now, the next herb I would like to use is lavender. Lavender is going to bring an element, also working with the element of money, and it's going to bring in also a peaceful way of doing it. You're not going to feel frenzied over making the money or stressed. You want to have, you know, a fairly peaceful way of bringing in finances, right? So this energy will help us bring that in. Think about what the lavender does. It has a bunch of little flowers that are so beautiful smelling. It's calming just to smell the scent of them as you mix them. And it's likened to, you know, a lot of money coming in peacefully and calmly. Focus your intent and what you want into the herb. You're waking the herb up. The next one I want to work with is mint. And mint is really great for a steady flow and communication with others. It's invigorating as well, in all ways. When you're working with herbs, it's been my experience that things get messy. But when you look, I find that everything that I work with spell work has a meaning. When things fall in a certain place or a certain way, it's an energy that is giving you a direction about how to read your spell, how it's going to turn out. So we're just going to open up the energy of, this is about communication. Good way to bring in communication through mint, through all areas of your life, and to bring in abundance through all areas of your life. To use all of your talents, to all of your skills, hone in on them and work them well. And mint will allow you to flow in an energized way, in a clear way, it'll give you clarity. I like to use tonka beans. Be careful because they're not edible, so just make sure you're washing your hands after using all the herbs. So this herb, it has an element of bringing in luck. So you want to be lucky with this. So I would say, you know, it's an element for however you want to, whatever direction you want that luck to come in, to bring that in through this. And it's a little bit of a tough crack, but once you crack it open, it easily breaks open and brings out a very beautiful energy, sort of a vanilla-ish scent. So remember, it's going to protect your money. It's going to bring you in luck. Where your luck hasn't been so good, it's going to bring that in for you. Remember, how you work with the herb is how your energy is. So pay attention to the signs. Is it too hard to crack? Open up the energy of your blockages, of where you feel, you know, you may need to be a little softer with this or a little harder with that. Whatever you feel, use that toughness and break it open as much as you feel that you need to. Maybe you don't need to break it open completely, maybe just a little bit. You know, however you feel it needs to go. So that's all the herb that we're going to mix. The next thing we're going to use is moss. Moss is very, very lucky. And it grows, you know how moss grows, in the dark. So however you need to be able to unblock the energy that you need to work with, whatever sort of darker hidden things are with you that are blocking your energy, is sort of going to come to light of what you need to do to remove those blocks to be able to work with what you want to work with and do what you want to do. So this is sort of very lucky to bring this energy in. So whatever you need, whatever you want. I feel like this moss is very good for putting you at the right place at the right time with the right people. This is working with poppy seed. I've put in this poppy seed, I've put a magnet, and I've put a silver dollar in here, and a little bit of wheat. And all of these are representative of bringing in financial abundance. So I'm going to put a little bit of this poppy in here as well. The next herb I want to put in is going to be cassia bark, cinnamon. So you can use any cinnamon stick, but I like using this one because this cinnamon stick has a more medicinal healing quality to it when you use it. You can't have too much of it, and if you don't have, it's not going to work either. So you have to have just the right amount. So I want you to really feel this out and feel what you should be putting this. This sort of sets things off, gives you an energy to move your own energy to be able to bring in what you want to bring in. Remember, this is what you're going to be looking at to bring in your financial abundance. And you can add to it later too if you want. But for now, this is the way it's going to be. So the next thing we want to do is add in sugar. Sugar is going to bring in finances as well in a very sweet way. So I want to break this square. Oh, I wanted to talk about the shape of this. Sorry, the shape of this is square. So I felt like this was good. You can use any sugar you want. This is an organic cane sugar that's just pressed into a square. And I feel like maybe sometimes when we are working with different energies that we're trying to bring in, like this steady flow of what we want to bring in, it may have connection with our, well, it definitely has connection with our soul. This square is representative of the energy of our soul. So with this soul, we're going to bring in what we need to bring into balance with this sugar. We want to be able to be in connection with our soul so that we can flow the energy from the heavens to the earth. So we're going to be opening up the energy of this, and we're going to be we're going to sort of powder the sugar. The sugar is going to become powdered, and as we powder it, we're breaking that open from the soul down into our physical body. So we're bringing in the energy from the other side, from the astral plane, of the sweetness, of the financial abundance, and we're going to flow it in our life on a regular basis. So that's what this cube is representing, and we're going to begin to turn it into powder now. So just begin to turn clockwise, and you're going to break down the energy of the sugar. You're going to turn it into powder and really feel the energy of that money coming into you on a regular basis. Really flow that into you and really concentrate, making a nice powdered, sweet sugar coming to you. So the next element we're going to be working with is water. This is rose petal water. You can make your own rose petal water, or you can buy it. You can purchase it like this. It's a really good face toner too. But we're going to just put a little drop of rose water in. It's bringing in, this is for prosperity as well. The other, you can use just plain tap water, but I would advise you to maybe bless this tap water first and give it a direction, and place it on a special place for maybe 24 hours, maybe out in the moonlight, or something of that nature on a full moon. So just energize the water however you see fit. And I have different waters here. One of the waters that I'm going to be using is from St. Bridget's Well, and this is healing water from Ireland. And I feel that a lot of the time when we don't have a steady flow of abundance, there could be all different sorts of reasons. There could be all different sorts of reasons why we do not have a steady flow of abundance. These different areas in our life may need healing, so I want to use this water from her well to be able to heal the areas that need to be healed. This water is representative of beauty. I want to bring in beauty into the work that I do. It's important to me to have beauty around me. It's a reflection, I feel, of spirit, of the light, and it's important for me to bring that in. So we're going to just be filling our jars up now with water. And we're also going to give this water the direction within the same focus as all the rest. This oil that we mixed, I love using these oils. We're gonna just pour a little bit of this into this here. And you don't need a ton of oil, essential oil, you just need a little bit. And you can pour a few drops in every day if you wanted to. You can make a lot more than this. Whatever you feel that you want to do with it, you can put in as much as you want. But when, you know, it's something that will diffuse after time. So when we light the candle and place it in a moment, we're going to be, it'll warm up this area, so the oils will diffuse through the house. So then you would want to add a little bit through the year for it. So I would advise you to make a little bit of a jar of it and put it away for adding in for later. The next thing I want to do, I wanted to actually add a couple of more oils. This is a wealth oil that the recipe is out of Scott Cunningham's book as well, and you can buy different wealth oils. One of them is this is actually Fast Luck. This is a Seven Sisters oil. It's one that's really good to be using for money. So I'm going to pour a little bit of that in because I like using sometimes other people's mixtures, but for the most part I mix my own oils. Those are easy enough to order on Amazon as well. This one is a wealth oil, so I don't just want, I want a steady flow of income that I can maybe do something with and help other people with. So that doesn't, that requires a little bit of wealth. So I would say that I would like a little bit of that in there as well. And this is a mixture out of the Scott Cunningham book. The other thing that I like to use is gold. So we're going to put a little bit of this. I like to use a little bit of gold, so I'm going to just place a little bit of this. This is like gold leaf. Start to get it out. Okay. Mm-hmm. So one of the other things I would like to add into mine is eggshell. Eggshell is protective. Think about what that does for a little baby chick, and we're going to I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that in mine. So the next thing I want to do is get a floating candle. I'm going to use white because white is color that is going to bring in some light. So you can use green, really any color you like, but I mean, I would say with this, stick to a traditional one. I would say green or white. So I'm going to tell you to give this candle an intention of what you want. Once again, we're going to think about what we want, and we're going to place this into the candle. And once we place this into the candle, we are going to etch in what we want into the candle. So now we're going to take the oil that we had made earlier, and we're going to anoint the candle with it. And we're just going to hold the energy once again of what our intention is. Visualize yourself bringing in the energy of what your intention is. See yourself clearly of how you're doing this. And see yourself enjoying the benefits. And once you have that, you're going to place this on the top of your container. You're going to light it. Now, I would like to remind you all that herbs are flammable, so please be careful. You're not going to leave this unattended, And you're going to, you know, pretty much every day put this in a place where you're going to light this candle when you're home. And you want to bring this energy into your space. So you're going to be paying attention to this. If it needs a little bit of water, you're going to add some water. If you feel it needs some oils, you know, bring some oils. When you feel that it's done its work, you can take this and then you can place it in either some running water, or you can place it into the earth and bury it. And really it's that simple. So I would take the energy of this, and as long as I feel that this is still doing its work, I would leave it burning in a place where you have it visible every day. It's going to remind you that, you know, this is what your focus is, this is what your intention is. And all of this energy will bring in some really wonderful manifestation for you. So thank you very much for joining us, and tune in for some more spell work in the future.